What smells like ripe gorgonzola, doesn't show up well in photos, and should not be touched under any circumstances?
Boris Johnson. My work here is done.
Is it a vampire's penis?
I'm amazed you haven't got a klaxon for that.
Yeah. It's not the bit of the vampire you worry most about, is it?
But the thing is, though,
Yes.
there's going to be a penis under that opera cloak somewhere, and it might have gone a bit cheesy.
I'm going to write an erotic vampire book called Ejacula.
I bet about £1,000 that's been done.
I want to say ectoplasm.
Yes, you do want to say ectoplasm because
I want to say
you
ectoplasm?
do. That is the correct answer.
Is
Very
it?
well done, Zoe. Yes. So this is the extraordinary thing. So after World War I and then the terrible Spanish flu, lots of people had lost their relatives and they wanted to get back in touch with them. So spiritualism became a massive thing. And by 1930, you've got 250,000 British people who are a member of a spiritualist church. And then you get people like Arthur Conan Doyle, and he decides to announce that he's used a séance to get hold of his son, who he had lost in the war, Kingsley. And all of a sudden, all of these mediums are incredibly famous. And this is some of them trying to produce ectoplasm, OK? This is, yeah. It was taken very seriously. It was investigated by all sorts of committees and lots of universities and so on. Here's the convenient thing for the mediums, and I think inconvenient for the sceptical investigator. Ectoplasm, supposedly very sensitive to light and to touch, and it might cause serious and undefined damage to the toucher.
Wow. Like a vampire's penis.
Yeah.
Sorry to gesture to you as I say, like a vampire's penis.
These are people, supposedly, with ectoplasm coming out of them. What do you think it's actually... what do you think it was made of?
It looks like a tissue.
Yeah, it's cheesecloth.
Oh, is that what...
Yeah, it's
okay.
cheesecloth or muslin and gelatin and egg white and soap and so on. And there was a famous investigator called Harry Price, and he was the one who said it smelled of ripe gorgonzola.
I'm not surprised.
Wow.
Well, it could have been worse, OK? So there was a famous Danish medium called Einar Nielsen, and he was investigated by a committee from a Norwegian university, and they concluded that he had been hiding it in his bottom.
Oh.
Yes, before feeding it up through a hole in his outfit.
In his outfit?
To his mouth, before pretending to vomit it out. That's him on the left there. And, I mean...
Still probably not the worst thing I've ever eaten.
No. It's probably not something out of your bottom, though, I would imagine.
What was being able to produce this cloth out of your mouth? What did that prove?
That you were in touch with the spirit world. If you look at the one on the right there, that's a French medium called Eva Carrère, and she used to chew paper and faces cut out of magazines. And she got caught because that person in the photograph is clearly the King of Bulgaria. And people went, no, you cannot have regurgitated the King of Bulgaria. But there was one woman called Helen Duncan. My goodness, she was probably the most famous ectoplasm producer. And in fact, there she is.
Oh, wow.
Look at her. She's rather marvellous, isn't she?
She's really gone for that, hasn't she?
I very much like the outfit, because you see she's got her trousers tied at the ankles, and I don't know if it's just like loads of muslin and cheesecloth down there. Anyway, she produced endless ectoplasm. She was the very last woman in Britain convicted in 1944 under the Witchcraft Act of 1735. So she wasn't actually convicted of witchcraft, but of falsely claiming to procure spirits, so basically pretending to be a witch when she wasn't.
Not real ectoplasm?
No! Oh. Apparently, Harry Price, the great investigator, stole a sample, and it was a mix of wood pulp and egg white.
Oh.
But apparently she could produce yards at a time. It would emanate from her mouth, her nostrils, her nipples and between her legs.
Wow.
Wow. She looked like a vampire's cock by the end of it.
I know. Thank you for watching. Do remember to subscribe to the QI channel and click here to watch more videos.